Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Gotham by Night. This episode's title, Rest Now, My Baby. Sleep. Some say that sleep is for the weak. Others gloat about how much they can sleep, only to wake and brag about how they could sleep for even more hours. In a world filled with distractions, a good night's sleep is becoming increasingly rare to obtain. Of course, there are pills, oils, pastes, liquids, and such that could knock you out on your ass for hours at a time, but this is the work of sedatives. This is not a true reprieve. Sleep. Something that all things need in order to maintain energy and keep themselves operational. Dreams. Scientists, even in this highly advanced technological city, have yet to fully 100% understand why the brain does what it does in terms of dreaming. Is it a way to sort through all of the stimuli from the day? Perhaps it's a side effect from the various natural chemicals released throughout the body, a hallucination of a sort. There are mystics out there that believe that dreams are a sacred space where entire realities are born and die in the brief time that one remains asleep. Dreams can be odd. Logic is more of a suggestion and less of a rule. Waterfalls can flow backwards, swan butlers and goose maids carrying silver platters of tiny rainbows that sing "Eat me" when looked at. Odd, strange, beautiful. Perhaps these things have underlining meanings. Perhaps the waterfall is the desire to pee, or maybe that one feels like the direction of one's life is going too fast. Or maybe it's just a waterfall. Dreams. Our attention zooms in on the heartbroken and betrayed William, a man whose heart was metaphorically ripped from his chest and thrown on the dirty ground, only to be stomped on by the perfect-heeled boot of a one Mistress Tatiana, a kindred of high society that had enslaved the poor man-beast in the trappings of blood. To have truly loved and lost, the pain cannot be put into words. William, what is it that you are doing before you turn in for the night?
Well, he was trying to forget about Tatiana by sleeping with someone, but eh, I guess he's in someone else's room, still trying to forget about Tatiana, but he can't.
Laying next to someone that you've attempted to use as a method to forget?
Yeah,
Mm. And is this person awake? Are they fast asleep? Are you the only one that's being kept up awake by your own thoughts?
he's probably the only one that's awake at the moment.
Do you know this person, or was it just a stranger?
Just a stranger.
Mm. Do you. Is there anything that you do to try and whisk yourself off to sleep? Do you help yourself to some milk? Do you scrounge around in this stranger's cupboard? Do you have a hot shower? What is it that William does that tries to calm his mind down from the racing thoughts?
He will try to take a cold shower.
Mm. The cold water rushes over you, each droplet in the beginning, a striking and stunning razor of coldness, but you're quick to adjust. Um, you wish that your thoughts would wash off of you as quickly and as easily as the water droplets, but it's not that easy. When you love someone, when you think you love someone, then lose, it is an unfathomable void, not just in the chest, but in the mind, a numbing sensation, yet at the same time, all the emotions in the world that are negative. But the water keeps coming down, and you feel the heat of your body after your activities with this individual. Uh, your body calms, and as your body does calm and fatigue creeps in, you allow yourself this moment to just exist, to just stand in the torrent of water. You think you hear the sound of a wind chime, though honestly, in this time period, uh, who knows what kind of neo paganism some high tech Visco girls get up to these days. Maybe they've refurbished their shiny metal water bottles into a wind chime. Who knows? But it is a sound that you hear. It's charming, it's quaint, it's delicate to hear. But other than that, there are no more noises. There's no one to coach you out of the misery that you're feeling. So what do you do?
He will go back to the room, contemplating between leaving or just staying there. And I guess after a while he will decide it's probably better just to stay here for a bit. And
Yeah.
hopefully that he wakes up before she does.
The time on the clock, if it is correct, it seems to be about 1 in the morning. This individual is. You gave them a run for their money. They're exhausted. They're asleep. They have no idea the emotional pain that's going on with you. Perhaps that's better that way. They served their purpose and they had fun doing it, but now you are just left alone in the silence. Did you wish to wake them? Did you wish to sleep next to them? What is it that William would want to do?
William is just gonna go sleep right beside her.
Mm-hmm.
He will try not to wake her up or disturb her sleep.
Mm-hmm. They appear to be in REM sleep. Like you shuffle around trying to get under the covers or on top of the covers, preference. Um, and they might like rustle a little, but it is very clear that they're not going to wake up from such delicate movements. Their bed is quite soft. You can grant them that. And you feel like there is just a cocoon, maybe, a weight, not a forceful anchor, but like a weighted blanket being draped over you when there is none. An emotional just the mattress caves in under your shape and your weight, and with the amount of stress that you're under, the emotional fuckeries that you've gone through as of late, it wouldn't take long before you feel your eyelids beginning to get heavy and your mind begin to wander, your muscles relax, you find yourself not wanting to move, and then all goes black. You find yourself in a garden. This is, you've been in this garden many times before. It's got a similar feel. It's got that woman, it's got that man, like neighbor. You can't remember their names, it doesn't matter. You've got, that red flower and that pink one over there that you never really looked too close to because they're flowers and you don't care. But it's a beautiful night. It's that temperature of like that autumn crisp that is quickly insinuating that winter is coming, but has not yet arrived. And yet, when that chilly breeze drifts on by, you don't feel uncomfortable when it hits your skin. Um, it's refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air. But yeah, what do you do in this garden?
Out of character, I don't know that I'm. Basically,
No
this is
idea.
all intents and purposes. This is a dream, like in real life.
This correct, but you have no idea. If you are aware of how dreams work, like when you're dreaming, you don't know you're dreaming. So like you're like, oh yeah, I'm in a
Yeah,
garden.
yeah. Basically, he's gonna walk around the garden, enjoying his time and enjoying the air, the smell of the air.
Mm.
Just walking around, trying to enjoy it as
Hmm.
much as he can.
It is. Did I mention what time of day it is?
1 a.m.
No, in the dream.
Nope.
It appears to be a beautiful golden sunset. This warm oranges and yellows and some undertones of white and gold bathe the sky in this truly artistic masterpiece. The clouds are few, seemingly only adding to the dramatic flare of the skies. You even see a tiny little airplane in the distance, kind of crossing over the horizon. Um, but it is definitely a wonder to behold. You see a woman sat on one of those benches. It's a white ivory kind of bench that is interwoven in such a way where it kind of looks like it's made out of like maybe petrified and colored vines, perhaps, which the design would make sense considering that this is a garden. But they are sitting on a bench, holding what appears to be a lantern, a black lantern with a candle in it that is lit. It is lit, and she's just staring out into the horizon. You don't believe you've seen her before. She mm, doesn't appear to be someone that you remember, at least. But she doesn't appear to be hostile.
William will try to approach her because he's interested in that lantern she's holding. Because why would anyone bring a lantern here?
It is a very odd thing, isn't it? She is a woman of average height, average appearance. Well, it depends on your tastes. She is Caucasian, has very neutral toned makeup, a bit on the fairer side in terms of skin complexion, and has a calmness about her, which seems to accurately mimic the coolness of the breeze that's around her. Maybe she's just really feeling in tune with what's going on around her. Maybe she's just enjoying the gardens just like you are. She doesn't seem to have noticed you.
William will go right beside her and he will look into where she is looking, and then after a while he will cock his head towards her, go back to where she's looking, and will go, "That's a pretty neat lantern you have there. I don't think I've seen anything like that before. It's really lovely."
Her head, like her body doesn't move, but her head does. It turns slowly 90 degrees so that it faces you. Her shoulders don't move, her body doesn't move. Very much like an owl swiveling its head, and looks at you. Now, this doesn't strike you as odd. It's like, oh yeah, she's looking at me. She's
Mhm.
paying attention to you. You notice that the black hair that she has some, like, maybe some gray strands. Maybe it's age, maybe it's a style thing, or maybe it's just a trick of the light. But you see some white strands in there. She gives you a peaceful semi smile. Thank you. I found it a while ago. It's very beautiful.
I must agree, it is. Do you know why? Sorry, do you know, what are you doing with that lantern? Other than
Oh,
lugging around, of course.
well, in addition to it being just a marvelous accessory to have on standby, I mean, one, obviously, it cannot be without some kind of light source, of course. But in the gardens at night, just after the sun has kissed the horizon, lanterns make the most beautiful companions. They
Huh.
dance in ways that are so interesting.
Never thought about that before. I usually just pull out my phone and turn on the flashlight, deal with my
Yeah,
letter.
everything
Um,
is so easy with a phone, but I feel like we're getting out of touch with the more simple things.
I suppose he will turn his body towards her and it will uh gesture a hand and shake. He will say, "I'm William, by the way."
Oh, and that's when her body turns to kind of reallocate with her head. An arm will come out. You will notice that her hand is that of like an avian. There are 5 fingers, but they've got the scales like that of a chicken or an owl, and the nails are talons. Not threatening, but just, that's what they look like. And it grabs hold of your hand. It does feel like a chicken leg or some kind of like owl leg.
Hmm.
But she shakes your hand and says, "And I'm Daisy. It's nice to meet you.
You
I don't
too.
believe we've met before."
I don't think we have.
Well, it's a fast time for everything.
Of course.
Now, I hope you don't mind, um, but you seem a little sad.
Is it that noticeable?
Well, I guess you can say I'm a good judge of character.
It's just that I've been trying to forget about this person that I thought that I care for like
Oh,
deeply. No?
lady troubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. I understand. Well, I mean, I don't understand don't understand lady troubles per se, but
Love
I am.
troubles. Yeah, you
Yeah.
understand. Uh,
It sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll go away in time, I suppose, like everything, hopefully.
Well, that's true, but it doesn't take away from the suckiness of right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I came here, looking at that beautiful sunset,
Oh,
trying
it
to.
is beautiful. Oh, you don't have a lantern on you, do you?
Nope,
Oh,
that's my
oh,
phone.
uh, of course. How silly of me. She will kind of reach under the bench and will procure what looks like the twin of the lantern that she's holding, and she gives it to you. The candle is not lit.
hmm Wow, I must say I've never received a lantern as a gift before.
Maybe people should do it more often.
Yeah, this is really beautiful.
Hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But you should maybe light it. the uh, the gardens can be a little bit mischievous.
Um, I might. I'm afraid that I do not have anything to light it with. Can you help me with that?
Oh, of course. Um, hmm. Well, I'm afraid I don't have any matches on me, though Hmm. Would you like to see a magic trick?
Well, I suppose why not? Seems interesting.
Maybe it'll cheer you up.
Maybe.
She stands and she holds the lantern a little closer to her chest, but opens the window in the lantern, um, and she looks at you with eyes that are just they accept you, all of you, not just like taking in your outer appearance, but she sees you and you are valid. You are worth it. Um, she does not judge you for the mistakes that you have made. And of course, it would be outrageous if she knew all of your secrets and your regrets and sorrows. But it doesn't take away from the feeling that there's just, you could tell her anything and she wouldn't judge you.
hmm
Um, Now, that of course doesn't mean that you should be telling her anything, but it's just
Yeah,
the vibe that's in the air.
yeah.
Um, she looks at your lantern and kind of you need to open
Oh,
the
oh yes, yes.
yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Duh.
Here we go.
Oh, you've never done this before.
Nope. I am
Oh,
kind of excited.
okay. I need to concentrate. Hmm.
William's just looking at her with glee in his eyes, like he's having fun.
The woman seems to have what appears to be like a mild Tourette reaction, in that like her neck and her head kind of twitches in like weird, odd, strange ways. And then it has this like kind of scary half a second moment where if you can cast your mind into that of a horror film where they kind of have the monster shaking really, really quickly.
Yeah.
For example, like Pennywise when he's like rushing through the water and he's just like shaking back and forth. It's kind of like that until when she kind of calms down, she appears to look like some kind of humanoid owl woman with like maybe even moth-like features. If you, of course, look at the picture and onto the right hand side, um, her eyes are red and large. Her nose is actually what appears to be like a beak, yet she still has a mouth from which to speak. Um, and the wings appear to kind of be draped up around her shoulders and down past her breasts, almost like that, like of a fashionable scarf. Not pretentious, but just enough to kind of like just be there to rest on her. Everything else appears to be white, maybe a little dusty looking, grays. And although her eyes are large and red, they are not malevolent. This is normal. I mean, maybe it's a bit weird. I mean, maybe it's a lot weird, but you know what?
It feels normal.
It's beginning to push it a little bit. Where
Yeah.
you're like,
Okay.
that eye color's a little rare, but not like holy Jesus Christ, what is that?
Yeah.
And they kind of open their mouth and their beak, and you hear the sounds of like crickets coming out from her mouth, both of them. Except these crickets change in tune and pitch in strange, sometimes discordant ways until they kind of find a frequency that's pleasing to the ear, and it kind of like is this beautiful melody that kind of is very soft, and then it peaks, and then it goes a little more quiet, and then it peaks again, and then a little bit more quiet. And as she does this strange vocal workout, the candlelight in the lantern seems to glow a little more, a little brighter, until you don't see the fire, you don't see the flame anymore. You just see a hazy orange light orb, and then it kind of shakes as if it is a water balloon that was pushed a little too hard. It ripples and roils, and then it like bloop, kind of pops away from the candle light and then drifts throughout the air as if it was made out of a cloud or a vapor, like someone plucked a handful of the sunset and turned it into a fluff ball. It kind of jellyfishes like SpongeBob throughout the air, and then it kind of wisps around you. It even nuzzles up against your cheek, and it feels like a warm hug. And it has the scent of freshly baked cookies and maybe the. I mean, you've never tasted joy before, but you taste joy. It's an experience that is hard to explain, but it is an experience that you have. It then kind of bloop, bloop, bloop down into your gifted lantern, where it kind of hovers and dances around the wick, and then it fades and fades until you see what appears to be a tiny little winged-like creature blowing raspberries on the wick of the candle, but the raspberries cause sparks, and those sparks are rainbow colored, and they ignite the wick, which causes the fairy-like image to clap with its hands and its feet, and then it kind of blinks out of existence, and voila, you have a lit lantern.
William will
Stops.
William will close his lantern and he will look at her and just say, "Wow." I mean, just wow, that's the best magic trick I've ever seen, and he will applaud her.
Oh, thank you. The wing that's like around her collarbone kind of lifts up and conceals the lower half of her face, while the feathers on her brow kind of ruffle up. You see that she's bashful, and is kind of like hiding away from you a little bit. But you see that she's kind of like laughing. Oh, I could have done it much better, but I think it was okay.
No, that was amazing.
Oh,
So, like, really,
you were just being kind.
no, I'm serious. Like, wow. I don't think anything can top that anymore. I think I've like I'm good to die now. I've seen everything.
Careful what you wish for. Well, I hope I mean you're smiling, so at least I'm helping, or at least I'd like to think that I'm helping.
Yeah, thank you. No, really, thank you. That was amazing.
You're welcome. I I hope this doesn't bring the mood down a little, but um, maybe you can tell me a little about this woman. Maybe it'll feel good to get some stuff off your chest.
Well, where do I start? Okay, so
Out of character, you don't feel compelled. You don't feel forced to talk about these things. You could not talk about them if you don't want to.
hmm,
Though she does look like this owl moth woman, and that doesn't like ring any alarm bells. Um, you still have enough like faculties where you can,
keep
choose
some,
to,
yeah,
yeah.
like, yeah. Well, this lady that I was seeing, she owns this club that I used to, well, I still, I guess, do visit a lot. It's a place to wind down, you know? So,
Oh, is it a club that I would know?
mm, would you know a place called the Velvet Rose?
Oh, I love roses, but I don't think I've seen a velvet one growing around here.
I don't think it's possible for a velvet rose to grow, to be honest, but you never
Oh,
know.
you haven't seen?
Wait, there are,
Yeah,
because I would usually.
if you just walk down that pathway and go to the left, there's velvet roses, there are flannel lilies, there are honey lily pads. There's like a whole bunch of things here. Are you
You,
sure that
well,
is this your
okay.
first time here?
I don't. You know what? Why don't you accompany me, and I'll tell you while we talk, walk there, and I'll tell you more about this lady.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Anyway, as I was saying, in this club, she called me to have a conversation, and I thought, why would this beautiful woman want to talk to me? And then we just talked and talked, have a few drinks here and there, and then I don't know what happened really. Just I woke up and we were together, and it felt really nice. You know,
Hmm.
just felt like it was meant to be or something.
It's like
Even
a fairy tale.
I suppose. Ah, I guess it really wasn't, because in the end it shattered. Just spend more and more time together, but he's just like looking kind of sad and sighing a lot and shaking his head.
Oh, I didn't mean to upset you.
It's okay. Just remembering all of it just making me kind of sad and mad at the same time for some reason. I guess it's like some sort of hateful thing against your ex or something.
Was she a good woman?
She was good to me, at least, until in the end. At the end, I suppose.
She wasn't good at the end?
Yeah, her ex came back into Gotham, and then she
Oh,
told me about how it was true love, and I feel so stupid.
no, 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 no. You're not stupid. She just, she doesn't know what she's missing. She threw away someone that I think is a right dapper gentleman.
Wow, that's mighty kind of you, stranger. But yeah,
I've noticed that there are a lot of people in this world that they give up on love so easy. The first pretty thing that waves in front of their face, they just they turn into a magpie and they fly after it. And that's just not how life should be lived. I think it's a if I was to describe life, I'd say it was a delicate, patient dance on ice.
huh. I don't think I've looked at love like that before, You have some pretty interesting perspectives.
Well, if you think about it, you have to be careful with love. It can fill you with joy and give meaning to your life, but if you're not careful, you'll slip, you'll fall, you might cut yourself on the ice blades or crack your head on the ice rink.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
No, usually I don't really worry about hurting myself, but it just this is the first time I've felt this kind of pain before. It
Yeah.
hurts.
I can take that pain away if you'd like.
And how are you going to do that exactly?
Let's just say it's another magic trick.
Will it be as amazing as the last one?
I think it's a bit more subtle than that. But
But do I
hey,
want
you'll feel
to?
better.
But would I want it to go away though? Don't they say like you have to live through your pain and learn from it?
I mean, pain can be a good motivator, it can be good trials, but do you think you deserve to feel this pain?
He looks kind of down and looks like he's thinking. Kind of looks sad. Maybe I do deserve it. After all, I'm foolish enough to believe that simple little old me could be with someone so beautiful as her. I mean, kind of sounds like I'm putting her in a pedestal or something, but
It does. It seems like, well, I hope this doesn't offend you, but it seems like she's a daddy's girl, silver spoon, wants it all, and if she doesn't, she has a tantrum.
I mean, she does own like this weird albino pets, but I don't think I've seen her throw a tantrum before.
Wow. Maybe, maybe she does that in private.
Maybe. I mean, I never truly knew her in the end, so maybe she was hiding it?
And if that's the case, if she was hiding things from you and she was not the person that you fell in love with, can you really say that you deserve this pain? I think that I can take this pain away, but you having the experience, you'll still be able to look back and recall and understand.
Use it as a lesson, maybe?
Yeah.
Man, you're like offering. Your offer sounds very nice, to be honest.
And if for whatever silly reason you wanted to have the pain back, I could just give it back.
You know, you give a hard bargain.
Bargain? I'm not asking for anything.
Really, no one
Well,
usually
yes.
just gives something away for free. Something is always, you know.
I'm not no one. I guess you could think of me as your fairy godmother. Ooh.
Wow, My own fairy godmother. Who would have thought?
I know. I'm just that brilliant.
Ooh, just a wee bit full of yourself there.
Careful, or I'll turn your feet into two little pumpkins.
He will giggle, and then he will kind of be silent for a bit. And you know what? What the hell? If I don't like it, I could always ask it back, right?
Of course.
Sure, why not?
Good. Let's shake on it. And
Okay.
then she will extend her hand.
Yeah, and he will do the same. He will look her in the eyes and smile while shaking.
The moment that her hand touches yours, you feel that stinging, cold pain, the pain of a heart that has broken into a billion pieces, piercing into your insides. One by one, that frigid, broken heart begins to thaw and turn into a liquid, a vapor, something soft and less painful to hold on to. And you even see it comes out of your mouth, it comes out of the tear ducts, it comes through your veins. You see your veins glow a light blue, like so light that it's like staring up into a winter sky and viewing Aurora Borealis, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
And it's just this light show going on in your veins, in your arteries, this smoke or mist like substance coming out of you, and it swirls around her, and then it goes into her mouth, it goes up into her beak's nostrils, it rests like a thin glitter on her hair, her feathers, her wings, and flows into her own arteries. She doesn't frown. She doesn't cry. She doesn't seem like she is taking your pain and hurting herself. She's just taking it away. And when it's done, you remember what happened. And at least right now, you feel fine. Not ecstatic, but you feel fine. Immense sadness turned into, oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Hmm. I think I kind of feel a bit better now. Though I must say that was again beautiful.
Oh, I can't take credit for that. It's this place. It's, well, it's something really special you've made here.
This garden. I
Yeah.
mean, just a garden can make it.
Oh, no, it's so much more than that. It's it's everything and nothing at the same time. And it's always brand new unless you don't want it to be. Does that make
Really,
sense?
what if I want it to be, I don't know, like a coffee shop or something? Turn into a coffee shop.
Oh, well, I mean, we can try. Um, hmm. Let's see. Would you like to play Monopoly?
I mean, that's random, but you know what? What the heck?
Sounds
Kind of
good.
enjoying. I'm kind of enjoying spending time with you. So what the heck?
Oh, I enjoy spending time with you too. You kind of go around a corner. By this time, like you're in some kind of, well, not a hedge maze because it's not like tall walls or anything, but
Hmm.
you're navigating around like stepping stones and patches of different flora. It's strange. Like you see colors that have no names. Like that, you can't say, "Oh, look at that flower," because there is no name for the color that you're seeing. You've never seen that color before, but you can also hear that color. It's strange. Um, if you have no shoes on and you are walking, you feel the tiny blades of grass kind of tickle, 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 tickle at the soles of your feet. And if you look down, you see tiny little faces on them, and they all giggle. But you go around the corner nonetheless, and you see a table with Monopoly just ready. That annoying period where you have to like set everything up and dish out all the money, it's already done.
Mhm.
It's just waiting.
William will sit down, waiting for Daisy to also sit.
Oh, she will. She will. The token, the metal tokens that one uses to play Monopoly with, you're not familiar with them. Usually, it's like the car, the boot, like all of these things.
Yeah.
But this one has what looks like a gnome, what looks like a house with chicken legs, one that looks like a fairy with dragonfly wings, and another, and just different kind of tokens that have fairy tale kind of symbology
Mhm.
or childlike symbology.
He will take the house with the chicken legs and will go, huh, this kind of reminds me of a story my mother used to tell me to make me go to sleep.
What story is that? Oh, I totally will be taking this. And then she kind of reaches out and plucks up the fairy with dragonfly wings.
It's uh, uh something Baba something.
Baba
Anyway,
Ganoush.
probably. Anyway, I'll pick this house with chicken legs. It seems amusing enough.
Sounds good. I mean, and then she kind of puts her two hands on the table and kind of does like the can with her chicken like hands and
Yeah.
like giggles before kind of like placing her hands down in front of her. Um, and yeah, like you guys play. You roll the dice. You like it's a very back and forth. Like you get money, but then she gets money, and then like all of that kind of thing. And she engages you in conversation about life in general. It appears to steer away from the pain of the heartbreak and more just small chat, like small talk, about how the weather was yesterday,
Yeah.
about what you have on tomorrow, things of that nature. You find after a certain point, like after you um, have moved the token so many times, the token walks. Like when it's returned and you roll the dice, the chicken hut walks instead of you needing to move it.
Mhm. Wow. You know, can I say something, Daisy? Because
Yes, of course, you can share anything with me.
from all the people I've been meeting lately, you're the nicest one, I suppose. I mean, you after all, you offered to take the pain away, and
Well,
thank you.
that's you're so welcome. It's what I do. I wouldn't say it's my job, say like I don't get paid for it, but I think that people, they don't always need to feel sad. I mean, sometimes they do. Sometimes they need to learn from the mistakes that they've made. But for people to be unjustly hurt, I just don't think that it would be fair to see them continuing to hurt.
Wow, you're like really into helping people, I suppose.
Oh, of course.
You would be a really awesome friend to have.
I mean, I'm here, aren't I? We can be friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless I'm apparently going somewhere.
Well, I suppose not.
Where is that fucking? Oh my god, I'm trying to find it. God damn it! Why can I not find it? It's a thing. I can't. It like escaped my notice. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Here we go. I just need to make a roll. No, I don't. Well, yes, I do. Can you please roll me your composure plus supernatural tolerance rating? Mm-hmm.
2 successes.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have a look at something real quick. And there's a 10. So that's 3 successes. So that roll beats you. What roll? I don't know what you're talking about. So during the course of this game, with chicken leg houses and flying dragonfly fairies, can you please voice how the way that you play the game reveals your virtue and vice, or like equivalent anchors, and name out loud one of your aspirations?
Okay, so basically it looks like he's always trying to save a property, even though it's going to make him lose some money or something,
Uh-huh.
or he is going out of his way to do something. Do I have to just say one or the other, or both of them? Like
Both
the
virtue and vice, and one aspiration.
yeah. How do I explain this? It's like he's trying to test something, like do something without uh letting. I
You
don't
try
know.
one tactic and then immediately abandon it for another.
No, basically, I'll just say what it's lone wolf. Like he does something without his pack knowing anything about it. Like he tried to succeed by himself, so that he's
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. And the other one is Warden, so he's trying to protect something, even though it will make him lose. So like keep his life as long as he protects it.
So maybe the way that kind of translates over is that when you're playing Monopoly, you have only purchased like one row of houses, and you have refused to purchase any other houses except for that row, and you protect them by putting all the hotels and all of the houses on them, and like you only go for those,
Yeah,
thereby showing that it's only like that lone row, and you protect that row.
yeah.
And
Um,
aspiration.
he will reveal that his aspiration, well, one of them is to take care of Edward Nigma.
Edward Nigma. So you are playing this game,
Mhm.
and you get a chance card. And what image is on the chance card in Monopoly?
Hmm.
Have you played Monopoly?
I have, but it's been so long.
It's a question mark.
Yeah, yeah.
For yes,
Except
we
it's
see the
green.
yes, exactly. It is a slightly glowing green thing, but it's got the words all over the front saying, riddle me this, riddle me that. And then when you turn over the card to read it out loud, you actually read your aspiration out loud. And then you might seem like a little confused, like, oh, like, what does that even mean? And then, I don't know, Daisy will be like, oh, that means that you get to go here and you get to get this much money. Damn it.
Wow, really lucky.
Yeah. So, the way that this is set out, it says that the changeling observes his opponent in a game against him, predicting her moves and how she uses her resources. He wins and learns her virtue and vice and one of her aspirations. I did an exceptional success. I did not exceptional succeed. So that means I do not get to know about a second aspiration.
Mhm.
But this is for free because you were goaded into playing a game. So, yeah, so this takes about roughly 10 minutes. And you see that Daisy's face kind of softens and seems to kind of connect with you and understand kind of what you're going through. And you hear her be like, oh, like, have you heard of this asshole back like down the way, like his name is like Edward Nigma or something stupid. And like she'll like play on your aspiration and kind of laugh about him and kind of talk about him with you. But then when she seems to touch a nerve, she kind of retreats socially and then goes for like, oh, like sometimes I wish I could just stay in my house and, be the queen of the couch and kind of go for the whole like protector of the home kind of spiel. But I'm gonna make a roll. No, I'm not. And you're focusing on the hut with the chicken legs, and you get these chance cards, and it looked like you're about to beat her. I know that this is maybe the quickest like session of Monopoly you've ever had, but like it feels longer than 10 minutes. But when you like lift your head back up, you notice that you are in what looks like a Parisian cafe. There are people with not baguettes, fucking berets. I was about to say baguettes on their heads. Berets on their heads and baguettes in their like kind of like bikes, and like in like a brown paper bag in the what do you call them? Not a bucket.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The thing that
Yeah,
like holds the
on the
back.
front. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like
basket
in
thingy.
there, you see that the person behind the counter that's like serving tea and coffee and like all like drinks and cupcakes and all that stuff is actually someone that looks like Marie Antoinette, except her head is that of a giant like frog.
Mm-hmm.
And when she kind of like enlarges her throat, you hear, "Woo!"
Weren't we just in a? Never mind.
You said you wanted to go to a cafe.
Wow, I guess magic.
It exists,
Well, I suppose.
You
Never.
seem different from the rest.
Also,
Oh, the other people that I visit, when I try to cheer them up, I mean, it works. I do cheer them up, but they seem, well, they all kind of blend together. And that's okay. You could be the same as someone else, I suppose, but you stand out.
is that a
You're
good thing or a bad thing?
She leans in and she doesn't touch you, but her hand kind of like rests near you. So near that you feel a very soft white feather kind of like graze against your skin. Not in a sexual way, it's probably by accident. And she says, "You're just a really special guy, William."
People always tell me that, but just regular old William.
Oh, I don't know. Are you hiding something from me?
Well, maybe. Everyone's always hiding something.
Let's play a guessing game then. I like games.
Well, you kind of suck at Monopoly.
Hey, look, what you did, no, that's not in the rules.
Uh,
How was I
Well,
supposed to know you were going to dominate Fleetwood Mac Row?
uh, well, I mean, why not?
I got stuck with Cherry Bomb Avenue. That sucks. At least
You
it's
win
me.
some, you lose some, I suppose.
Hmm. I will have a rematch later, I swear.
Why not? Why not? This is really fun.
You know, we can do this more often if you'd like.
What? Playing the board games?
Maybe video games come later, but board games, I mean, yes, board games, but also, I don't know, hanging out,
Hmm,
making each other happy.
Maybe I can bring someone with us. Make it more fun.
Who did you have in mind?
I have this friend that, mm, well, helping me out. He's a really good guy, you know. He even let me live in his house for a bit.
Oh, tell me more about him.
Well, I don't really tell. He's a doctor and he sucks at cooking. But yeah, just one of the nicest people I've met.
Nice people are increasingly rare to find. I'm glad that you found someone that is nice to you.
Yeah, yeah. I have to repay him with kindness as well someday. Yeah, maybe I can bring him with us. Play some games. Maybe you can show him your magic trick and see what he thinks about that.
Maybe. Um, I just, I don't know how he would be able to come.
I mean, what do you mean?
I don't know how to really explain this. I mean, you're probably going to forget anyway. They usually always do, sadly. Um, but this place that we're in right now, the cafe, the gardens, all of this beautiful stuff. You're dreaming.
What?
When she says you're dreaming, everything goes silent. Everything goes dead silent. The steam from the the coffee machine immediately cuts out. The people that were scraping their forks and spoons and whatnot stop. All people around simultaneously at like the exact same time turn and lock their attention on Daisy and they stare. They have got no emotion on their face. They just stare at her. This definitely feels out of place now.
William looks visibly confused. What? What?
Fairy tales, William. They're real. The good and the bad. And I don't have much more time, but thank you for inviting me back tomorrow. Oh, you should probably get that checked.
What? Get get what check?
You'll see. Blackness. You wake and feel this warmth, kind of trickling sensation. It's coming from like your side area, maybe just below your pectoral region. And when your eyes kind of open and your mind kind of adjusts to like the waking world, and you look down, you see what looks like a small scratch and a little bit of blood. Not a lot, just a trickling is coming under the pectoral region. It could have been from a cat. Maybe the cat jumped up and you rolled around in your sleep and it kind of nicked you and then ran away. At this moment where you just wake up, the memories of that dream, they're already beginning to fade, but you still don't feel sad. You don't feel devastated anymore. You just feel, a little bummed out, but nowhere near as heartbroken as before.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you do something, the memories are fading little by little.
Can I try to at least remember the face of that lady somehow?
You can. Though it wouldn't be a roll now, it would be a roll later to see if you can recall. Unless like you want to like write a sleepy note to yourself or do a sleepy drawing.
I probably won't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a regular dream.
Yeah,
Nothing unusual.
Mm-hmm. I would like you to take I think it's a condition. If it's a condition, I need to like look up. But you are inspired.
Inspired. Let's see. Oh, neat.
Yep. Your character is deeply inspired. When your character makes an action pertaining to that inspiration, you may resolve this condition. An exceptional success on that roll requires only 3 successes instead of 5. So you are inspired when it comes to, let's say, you were inspired to win your next game.
Okay.
What game? Doesn't matter. Like you've just got this kind of childlike glee of like, oh, like if someone challenged me to Uno right now, I would slap down that pickup 4.
Okay. What time is it in the real world?
It looks to be about like 8:22 in the morning.
Yeah, William is going to get his shit and get the fuck out of there.
Yep. Yeah, like you pick up your clothes. She's still snoring. It's kind of annoying. And she didn't take her makeup off after like she did the dirty, so it looks like her face is actually melting off in the morning sun. You don't know if it's a fucking troll or if she was made of wax, and it's just you don't know what the fuck you just fucked. But you kind of pick up your things. I don't know if you dress yourself appropriately, like fully or not, or if you literally just put on underwear and bolt out of the house.
Yeah, it's gonna put on some pants and like just get the fuck out of there.
That's fair enough. But yeah, you pick up your things and you leave feeling refreshed. You leave feeling kind of good.
Yeah,
not because of the sex. Well, maybe partly. Maybe the sex is the reason why you had such a good dream. But yeah, the fading image of a woman's face and the peculiarity of a strange lantern. And that is where we will end this scene. So thank you all for joining and listening for a rather, I think, a well-earned reprieve from all of the shit that has been thrown towards William as of late. But, as we all know, the better things get, the more likelihood that things will go real shit soon.